What's up? Welcome to episode 12 of the Corporate Misfit podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Darrington. And today I want to share with you a marketing system that will help you to understand exactly what you need to do without dictating what you have to do. This marketing strategy is easy to understand and also to implement. So my promise to you is this, that after today's podcast, that you will be able to transform the way that you've been going about your marketing and your business, making it so much more consistent and effective. So are you ready? Let's dive in.
You're listening to the Corporate Misfit podcast with Brittany Darrington, where female entrepreneurs can get powerful tips and advice on how to start, launch, and grow their business.
Now, if you're just tuning in, I want to hear from you. So go ahead and head over to iTunes, rate us and subscribe, and let me know what are your favorite takeaways from today's episode.
So being an entrepreneur means that you need to become the master at the art and even the science of sales and marketing. But I'll tell you, with so much information out there and so many different strategies, it can be extremely confusing, overwhelming, and even struggling to try to implement everything that you've heard at once. So one of my favorite sayings, especially when it comes to marketing, is, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, does it even make a sound? This is the case for so many entrepreneurs, and it is one of those things where they are creating these products, these services, but they're not even making a sound because no one is even hearing it. So as entrepreneurs, I truly believe that it is our moral obligation to become the master of marketing, because if you believe in your product or your service, it's your obligation to get it out into the world. Now, don't be selfish or keep your product or service hidden or a secret. You can't serve anyone if no one knows what you do and what it is that you offer to the world. So I always believe that without marketing, we don't have a business. So it's important for us to put marketing at one of our top priorities within our business so that we can consistently generate leads and ultimately convert into sales so that people can hear that tree if it falls versus not hearing it at all. Now, if you're just starting your business and you are looking for steps and guidance on how to get started efficiently, effectively, and ultimately become profitable, then you'll definitely want to join me at my upcoming live webinar, which is free, on how to start and launch an online business from scratch in 60 days. In this training, I'm going to share with you a few secrets on how you can ethically attract over 6 to 7 figures of business from your competitors for less than $100. I'm also going to help you with business cloning and how you can clone a proven business system within 30 days or less. And lastly, I'm going to help you to identify who your ideal customers are and find ways for you to be able to attract your ideal customers without having to start from scratch and trying to figure out how to get them. All right, so I hope to see you, and you can find that link within the bio, or you can go to BrittanyDarrington.com and sign up for our new and upcoming webinar. Now, when I first started my business, I would try to implement every social media strategy on every single platform because I saw all of the people that I was inspired by or that I looked up to on all of these platforms. Eventually, though, I found myself burnt out and broke. I had nothing to show for my hard work except frustration and exhaustion, and also some inconsistency within my marketing strategy. At Corporate Misfits, I'll tell you, I don't want this for you. So as a business mentor, I really do consider it my obligation to share this information so that you don't run into the same bumps in the roads as I did. But before we even go into this marketing strategy, you might be wondering, why is marketing and sales systems even important, and why do I need them to begin with? Well, having a system in place will help you to get super focused so that you could do a rinse and repeat without getting repeatedly stuck on all the choices that are out there when it comes to marketing. I want you to be able to create a system that allows you to really hone in on what you're good at while focusing on your core marketing categories that will skyrocket your business and help you to generate consistent leads and ultimately sales. So the first thing I want you to do when it comes to creating your marketing strategy is to do an inventory of what you are currently doing. What platforms have you currently been using? What has worked really well in terms of generating new leads and getting business and gaining exposure and visibility to your business? And what revenue have you brought in from those marketing efforts? Once you identify this information, I then want you to really dig deep and be honest with yourself so that you can set yourself up for success with the strategy that we're going to create together today. Now, if you're just getting started in business, you'll most likely skip this step for now. But once you get started, I want you to come back to this question every 90 days so that you can evaluate what works and leave behind the things that are not serving your business well. So now let's start with step number 1. It is all about traffic. Where is my ideal client already hanging out? And I want to be able to connect with them consistently. So I have to identify where am I going to get the traffic from and where are my current ideal customers hanging. So as entrepreneurs, you need to be really good at going out there and leading prospect customers to your offer. We do this through a traffic generator, which comes in a lot of different forms. So I'm going to share with you some of the different forms that you could do to help you to just get traffic to your business, to your website, and ultimately bring in those leads that you're looking to connect with. Okay, so let's start off with ads. So there are so many different platforms that you can go and actually target your ideal audience through ads. And this targeting can be done on Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, and even promoted pins on Pinterest. So this is where you're going to spend. It could be a couple of dollars a day, or it could be however much you like to go after your ideal client and market to them through a social media platform. Now, let's talk about Power Partners. This is actually one of my favorite ways to market my business, especially through the Corporate Misfit Club, through my podcast, my blogs, all that great stuff, because I partner with other individuals who can provide additional value to my audience and also vice versa. So with Power Partners, I usually find someone who complements my business, and it could be a win-win relationship. So for example, with the Corporate Misfit Club, I have individuals who are experts within a specific topic helping new entrepreneurs. So it could be on graphic design, and they might come and share or teach within my community, and then I might go and help within their community sharing on how to start a business because they focus heavily on graphic design. And so the really cool part is that it's a win-win situation because the graphic designer could work with some of our members and ultimately gain more clients, and also I can have some of their community come into my club and work with me to ultimately grow their business and get it to where they want to go. So Power Partners is one of the best ways to market your business, especially if you are a service-based business. And even if you are a product-based business, you can still go about Power Partners by partnering with influencers or partnering with other individuals in a giveaway or whatever it may be. But you want to find people who complement what you are doing versus finding people who are not in alignment with what your business is about. Now, some other free ways for you to grow your business within marketing is doing PR. So finding just different media outlets or partnering with different local magazines or local TV channels and doing PR and really sharing your story, what your business is about, and ultimately getting in front of their audience. Now, to help you find PR in your business, you can go to something called Help a Reporter Out. It is one of my favorite websites to go to, especially if you're just getting started and you don't necessarily have the connections within the media world. Now, you can also do something called guest posting and also guest podcasting. This is where you might find somebody who already has an established audience, or they already have a podcast or a blog in existence, and you go and you share your value to their audience. Now, I usually go about finding different podcast interviews or guest posting within Facebook groups, and I usually just type in, hey, I am looking to connect with other individuals within this specific area of business, and I would love to guest post or be on your podcast. How can we work together? I would love for you to DM me. Or if you're open to it, DM other individuals who already have a podcast or already have a blog and just send them a message telling them about how you love what they're doing and see if there's a way for you all to work together. Now, let's talk about posting in Facebook groups. So, this is a really great way and a free way for you to go about finding your leads. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to find either groups where they have my ideal customers, or I like to find groups where I could possibly learn from others. And so, you can go into these groups with an open mind and you can share content about your blog, your podcast, your business, and different things like that. But just remember, when you are in a Facebook group, to provide value and don't just sit and spam everyone with your products or services. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Brittany, but you said to tell everyone about my product or my service and market it. It's so true, but I also believe in building a relationship. Okay, now let's talk about posting with popular hashtags. So this is something that you'll most likely do on Instagram or Twitter, but you'll want to focus on using hashtags that relate to your posts. So then people who might be searching for information like that, or if they are looking to connect with maybe a business coach or a graphic designer or website developer, whomever, they're able to find you based off of the hashtags that you have provided. Now, the last suggestion that I have to really help you get traffic is by using evergreen content. This is where you create something that does not have a date or an expiration on it, and you can use it over and over again to ultimately help you to find your ideal customer and bring them into your business. Now, ladies, I don't want you to fall into the trap that I fell into when I first started my business. So remember this, with step number 1, I want you to just pick one of these activities to focus on every single day for the next 90 days. And just know that your goal on social media is always to be optimizing and creating a way for you to drive traffic to your website or get a lead magnet and grow your business. All right, step number 2, let's talk about lead magnets. So in order to create an irresistible lead magnet, I want you to think about the problems your offer is solving or the dreams it will bring to life. You want to create a lead magnet that solves 20% of the problem or takes your ideal client at least 20% of the way towards their objective. Ladies, you're going to want to create a high value and also a high quality item that will be good enough to really interest your ideal client, but ultimately leave them wanting more. So ladies, the objective of a lead magnet is to get your leads to want to opt in and become potential clients. So you'll want to do this through your messaging, and you'll want to be able to really connect with your ideal clients and their problems using that lead magnet as part of the solution to that problem. So here are some different ways that you can create some call to actions and create lead magnets to ultimately grow your email list and eventually get more clients. You can have quizzes, you can have guides, you can have workbooks, maybe a checklist or a swipe file, a template, maybe a video masterclass, or you do a mini video series. You could do a chapter of a book. You could do images. You could do roadmaps or blueprints, whatever works best for your business. Remember, your goal is just to solve 20% of the problem so that ultimately your client will want to work with you, buy your products, buy your services, and whatnot. Okay, now let's move to step number 3, lead content. Now, this is where so many entrepreneurs get stuck when it comes to creating content and all the formats there are to choose from, including blogs, vlogs, live streams, podcasts, whatever, you name it. But this is where a lot of people get stuck because they think they have to consistently generate new content every single day. And that can be really challenging, especially when you have other things to worry about within your business. So one of the things that I like to do within my marketing strategy is I like to choose one piece of lead content that will be repurposed into other content forms. So for example, my podcast, I also turned it into a blog. I use some of the information that I share within my podcast on my social media, and I use it on different platforms, but my main piece of content is on my podcast. Now, just like some of the other steps that I mentioned, I want you to really focus on picking just one format that you want to show up on and one platform so that you could do it consistently. And ultimately, as you grow your business, as you show up, then you can start adding on different platforms to start showing up on for content generation. All right, let's talk all about step number 4. It's about engagement. Now, this is where you are going to show up on that platform that you're going to be consistent on, and you are going to engage your audience. This could be on social media platforms. This could be on a weekly newsletter or a bi-weekly newsletter. This could be on YouTube or whatever it may be. This is where you're going to really connect and build those relationships. So again, show up on one platform and really focus on engaging and ultimately converting your ideal audience into your actual tribe and getting them through the sales funnel. All right, corporate misfits. So the very last step of your marketing strategy should be figuring out how you are going to convert your leads into actual sales. One of the things that I am always saying is always be closing your ABCs. I like to take my customers on a journey in marketing to where they ultimately convert and become a client. Now, what most people do is that they get people to their email list, or they get them to sign up for a freebie where they solve 20% of the problem, but then they don't really focus heavily on the sales. So in your marketing strategy, your sales strategy is going to be just as important, because ultimately you want to take your client through this journey to where they convert. So some of the ways that you can go about creating a sales call to action for your business is by having a sales page. This is where you'll have your actual offer, and you'll also be able to share the full benefits and why this ideal solution for their problem can really help them and help them to reach their higher goal or their objective within whatever it is that they are looking to do. So a sales page should really be a no-brainer when it comes to your offer, and it should really repel all the people who are not supposed to be on this page, or it should move the people who this could really help and benefit a little further along, and ultimately have them putting in their credit card or giving you money to buy your product or your service. Now, one of the things that I do to ultimately get upsells into my business is that I provide a freebie, and then immediately after you sign up for the freebie, I take you to my sales page where you can sign up for a $7 offer to something. With this $7 offer, though it's low in cost, it is just a way for me to see if you're really even interested in pulling out your card and working with me, and ultimately helping me to qualify you even more to get you to either my corporate misfit club or my one-to-one coaching. Now, you could do this upsell with products as well. So if someone were to purchase a product, let's use a e-commerce. If someone were to purchase a product, you can also provide them with a upsell offer to a specific product that might complement what they're getting at a special rate, and they only have a certain period of time to move forward. So these are some great ways for you to generate some sales into your business through your marketing strategy, and you really need to plan this out as a whole. So ultimately, whenever you get your leads, you know what journey they're going to be going on. Okay, so let's briefly recap from today's episode. The first thing that you need to do when you are getting started with a marketing strategy, before you even start your steps, is to do an audit and make sure that you know what works and what is not working within your business. And the first step that you're going to start focusing on once you have identified and done an audit in your business is you're going to focus on where you're going to get your source of traffic. Step number 2, you're going to focus on creating a lead magnet that solves at least 20% of your customer problems so that ultimately you can get them to buying your product or your service. Step number 3 is you're going to create lead content that ultimately helps you to consistently build your tribe and get people down a sales funnel to ultimately want to buy from you. And step number 4 is all about engagement, and this is where you're going to connect with your ideal audience on one platform so that ultimately you can send them further and further down your nurturing system. And step number 5 is all about the sales. You want to make sure you're taking your clients through your marketing journey, but ultimately converting them to where they could buy eventually from your business. Okay, corporate misfits. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And I know that if you take in these 5 marketing strategies that I shared with you today, that ultimately you will be able to really create a strong and effective marketing strategy. Also, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know some of your takeaways and also subscribe. Okay, Next podcast episode, I am so excited because we are doing something called Confessions of a Corporate Misfit series, and they will be released every single Friday, and you can hear how other women left their 9 to 5 to start their own business and do what it is that they feel they were called to do. So on Friday, I want you to get ready because I am interviewing Krista Russo, who is the author and founder of Why Am I Yelling? And she's going to be sharing how she left her Fortune 10 company to start her own business. Okay, I'll see you on Friday.
If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Corporate Misfit Podcast, we invite you to check out the Corporate Misfit Club. The Corporate Misfit Club is the essential resource for female entrepreneurs who are looking to start or grow a business they actually love. Whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur in your startup phase or simply thinking about taking the leap into entrepreneurship, we've got your back, girl. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive members-only discount perks, and unlimited tools. We also have a supportive community of women where our members share stories, experiences, their wins, and business tips. The Corporate Misfit Club is the perfect place to be to start, launch, or grow a business. So check it out at corporatemisfitclub.com.